Welcome. Thanks for joining. We're in Niagara Falls, Canada, of course. I found an opportunity to be here on an unbelievably gorgeous day. My understanding is, and it is definitely t-shirt weather for somebody like me. It's my favorite kind of weather. We'll get moving in a second here. Thanks for joining. Of course, I forgot my glasses, so hopefully I'll do okay reading the chat. Elevate with Vern, my YTBFF Fairbrick Studio. Henry Nelson, good to see you here. Scratch and PPA, of course, is in the house. Thank you for being here. Forgive me for missing your premiere. So it's only an excuse, but we started working outdoors. I am literally like burnt to a crisp from yesterday. And we've been doing line painting. Oh gosh, to go from 4 months of sitting in a chair to we've already been out at least a couple of times for huge projects, and the steps that are put in way beyond 10,000 a day. But I was unbelievably exhausted today and took a nap, and I set an alarm for Pete's. I already have an alarm for Pete's premieres every Tuesday at 12:15 Eastern, but I set an extra alarm and I slept right through it. I had to come to Niagara during the week because my mechanic is here. I love my mechanic. I had a couple of truck issues. So now the thing is in pristine condition, which is great to know, and I'll be back at it tonight, ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a rain day, so I moved Tuber Chat to tomorrow. Mona did what? Good to see you here. Tiffany Lava Shark Johnson is in the house. And thank you all again for being here. Margaret Seeger, thanks for coming in. Oh, I promise you, if it's not one thing, it's another. I'm using Streamlabs right now, and the chat keeps shutting off also. I don't have my glasses, so we'll see how we do today. But we'll get walking now. Canadian Family Life, good to see you here. Snowing in Calgary, are you serious? So I'm a little bit surprised, actually. I probably shouldn't be, but the trees don't have their leaves yet. I thought that by now that might have started, especially in a weird year of weather that we've had so far. But you can't pick a more beautiful day than today, my goodness. Head through where everybody's taking their pictures and selfies and stuff. I'm really out here because I need the exercise more than anything else. But I mean, if you're going to go for a walk for an hour or any amount of time, what a awesome place to be, right? I'll give you a better look at the Horseshoe Falls in a second. We can see the American Falls off in the distance with the Rainbow Bridge, and of course our American friends over there. Oh, and a rainbow, look at that. Not really surprising, you catch those often here. There's the Maid of the Mist. You can see how close that gets to the falls. Maid of the Mist you probably recognize from television and movies and things. That's the boat down there. Canada has a similar set of boats. They take turns going towards the falls. See the American flag on the back of it, and the blue rain jackets. In Canada, we have red rain jackets. We'll see the horn blower, which is the Canadian version of the Maid of the Mist, shortly. Andy Heinrich, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Universe, thank you for coming in as well. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody, as long as everybody's active in the chat. Hopefully I'll catch everyone. But that's nice to see, eh? One time I was lucky enough to start a stream with the rainbow. But that's more from the mist than anything else. But you can see the unbelievable power of these falls, both. Oh, they've closed down a bunch of stuff for construction. I should have known. It's okay, we can walk around. They get that stuff all fixed up before the major part of the tourist season. Really is remarkable how they get those boats so close to the falls. You know that's got to take some kind of talent from the captains. Jonathan Sturgill, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I'll just give you a quick look around what it looks like here. There's a Skylon Tower. Off in the distance, you saw a couple more hotels, the other casino, and the Ferris wheel, maybe you can see.
We're going to do a maple syrup tasting. And you'll be able to get samples of fudge, samples of...
Niagara Falls is a beautiful area, as you can see. Kristen, my love, in the house. Good to see you here. She's working, so you can't come with me if I do these in the regular weekdays. But I had a situation with my truck, like part of the exhaust. I had a few things going on, but you know, once you fix one thing, something else needs something. And there was a risk that it could literally fall apart and fall off. Not that the truck's in bad shape, just that these things, you know, they have to be repaired once in a while. My truck's in pristine condition, but it's 11 years old. So I had to come down here. I love my mechanic. And the only time they could see it was today. Usually I work outdoors on Tuesday. So I got to skip for today. But this is a nice alternative to painting lines in a parking lot. Off in the distance, you see the horn blower on its way over here. Jesse Miller Unboxings and more. Good to see you here. And then, Castle Dude. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, it's all fixed up now, so good to go. Tomorrow's a rain day in Toronto, but I'll be expecting to be working Thursday and Friday. There's the two boats about to trade places there. For the life of me, I can't remember whether I got this thing working before, but we're actually filming with the Samsung 24 finally. The audio on these things is out of control. I've been on iPhone for years and years, and I use this phone just for filming. My, I use an iPhone for my everyday stuff. I was on an iPhone 12 mini for a while, but what I can tell you from all the filming that I've done and producing and stuff like that, the audio that comes in from the Samsung phones is incredible. And I have to do, you can get away with not processing the voice and it comes out nice, clear, and loud. Whereas on iPhone, I've had to do a lot of compression and stuff. I'm using my Osmo 4 gimbal. I never upgraded. I love my gimbal. And the stand that I'm using is one of the ones that I have on my channel as a sponsored video there. And it's funny because they've come out with other versions of these things, but I still prefer this plastic one to the newer aluminum one for no reason. I don't know why. But those universal screws allow you to put the gimbal right on top. And these things extend as well, so I can get above everybody and give a better view. Still a lot of people out, but not overly busy like it will be in the summer. You know, by the time we hit the end of May, it gets pretty busy over here. You find yourself shuffling around people and things like that. I tend to walk too fast and then have to stop a million times. Yes, Niagara Falls, they say it's three falls. So there's the American Falls right there, and right beside it, the little small part that seems to be on its own on the right is called the Bridal Veil Falls. And then the Horseshoe Falls are behind us. That's the largest number of rainbows I think I've seen already. At all. I imagine we'll even start seeing some of the restored or done up cars. I seen a truck. I can't tell the different years of these things, but somebody had like an original Ford F-150 flare side, whatever that means. And you see a ton of those types of things in Niagara. There's a huge community. They get together, they do car meets and things like this all the time. I'll try to get out and catch one of those if I can ever be here when they're doing it. Stock Explorer, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, thanks everybody for those thumbs up as well. Yes, makes sense, the Stock Explorer. Thank you for that. I wonder if I'm going to park for a second. I'm just going to do something silly here. We'll put a poll in the chat. I'm curious to know what everybody thinks about these live streams. So obviously today experimenting again with the vertical live. Get myself in order here. Then pardon me, I'll get us our good view in a second here. I feel like I gotta play with this for a second. Oh, thank you, Castle Dude. Yeah, I wish I knew a little bit more about Niagara. I appreciate you saying that. Kristen has been here her whole adult life, so she very much knows much more than I do about the area and could talk about the history much better. Castle Dude, yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure whether he actually ran or if that was a publicity thing. I can't be certain of that. I got a strike on my channel here. It's gone and expired now and all that stuff, but I did get a guideline strike for a speech that was given during the rally that I think you are probably referring to, and so I had to pull that stuff off. I intend on putting it all up on Rumble at some point, just haven't yet. I wonder, can I do a poll from the phone? I haven't done that before. I wonder if that's possible. If my friends Vern might know, or anybody that live streams, or if you can't do it on the phone exactly. See, I got another phone that I use to watch the chat, sort of, when needed. Alright, we won't do a poll, but I'll just ask everybody what you think, if you prefer these vertical live streams. Because if you do, then I'll mix them up maybe 50-50 when I'm out here. If nobody is really into the whole vertical thing, then I'll just get back to our regularly scheduled horizontal program. We'll likely see the zip line going today, like usual. Thinking about getting a tour guide or somebody from, I don't know how many people here know the app Show Around. I don't even know if it's still a thing. A few years ago, it was something where you could get somebody to bring you around their area, especially if you're a solo traveler, it would make the most sense. But somebody who's really knowledgeable, and get them to enhance our stream with some history and facts and things like that. I was lucky enough to have that happen once when I was on Clifton Hill. I went to the Wax Museum of the Stars, and I believe it's the director of marketing or director of promotions came and met me down there and offered to help with the video. So much better video than I could have done myself, and gave us a great look in the Wax Museum. How soon I'll get out here again, I don't know, but likely the trees will start at least having some leaves. But you're seeing like the pre-spring look of Niagara Falls. Thank you, Scratch and PPA. Yes, the occasional lamppost. It's better. I can't get the chat to stay on this app for no reason. I don't know what on earth is going on. Yeah, actually, Margaret Seeger, I got out with 2 phones that day, and I did vertical and horizontal. And it was to test a feature, because I'm not sure if there's more restrictions than just being monetized, but you can run more than one stream on one channel at a time. And some of the biggest channels, like those lo-fi music channels or channels with 24-hour streams, sometimes they have more than one. So I thought I'd give it a try, and it worked. But that gave everybody the opportunity to watch in the way that they wanted, because it's such an important event, right? We didn't get great views, but we saw it, so. I'll give you an idea of how far we've come by giving you another look around. It's a Skyline Tower that I talk about all the time. Kristen and I have been there a couple of times already. Looking forward to going there again. It rotates. There's a restaurant up there, right? So after, I believe it's 90 minutes, you get a full view of both Niagara Falls, the city, and Niagara Falls that we're looking at today. Jeff, thanks for being here. Yeah, that was something I was lucky for. We all know that it's better in life in most cases to ask for forgiveness as opposed to permission. But that day I decided to give it a try, and I called them and said I was going to film because I wanted to hear it before I planned, and then got disappointed. And I was pleasantly surprised, so that was lucky. Yeah, thank you, Margaret. Yeah, thank you everybody for answering that. Looks like here on this channel, I've probably done so much horizontal live streaming that everybody would prefer it, so it makes sense. But I'll keep that in mind. When it's time to get out here and do more of these, we'll think about whether to keep it at a 50-50 mix or lean towards the horizontal. We'll call it the Overton window of streaming, and everybody here can influence it. While I don't have a plan today, I'm hoping at some point in the not too distant future I'll manage to get across the border as well. I haven't been over in years. It's before the pandemic, I think. Dad, good to see you in the house. That's Jaden, our dear friend. He renamed his channel recently. Jaden's a long time friend. So just in case anybody that on the zip line tower, if it's not too busy, you can get onto the stairs, and it's the perfect place. I watched a couple of other people's firework videos before going out to get them so that I could kind of gauge, and it turned out to be just spectacularly perfect, because the fireworks that are done here in Niagara, which sometimes are done every day in the summer, they're shot from down at the bottom or close to it where the water is. So they're like exploding almost, it feels like right in front of you instead of way up in the sky. It's a really interesting look for fireworks. I'll have to look at the schedule and see when they're going to start bringing those. I'm not sure how far we'll go today. I'm gauging my overall exhaustion with my desire to lose weight. But we'll keep going for a while. The good thing about Clifton Hill, which is where all the action is, and we'll be there in 5 minutes, it's uphill from where we are now, but at least that means it's all downhill once we get to the halfway point. Yeah. Oh, I got plenty right now. They do this really spectacular light show on the falls at night too. It's hard to describe in you know, without seeing it. And I've got plenty of it on my channel anyway and other live streams. Sometimes I come out at night, sometimes I come out in the day just to mix these things up. But I caught the illumination show probably several times. And they change it up for special occasions too. And they do things for like nonprofits and charities and things like that. So like times like March 26th, which is Purple Day, globally recognized day for epilepsy awareness. Places like this, landmarks around the world, will change their light shows on their different things. Like I'm sure the Space Needle, or in Toronto the CN Tower, maybe the Eiffel Tower, things like Niagara Falls will change to purple for like 15 minutes. Or for special occasions they'll have change up for the light show. Yeah, downhill on the way back is a relief from where we are. I was going to go a different route today, but I figured, okay, well, for today we'll do the same thing, and I'll start experimenting with where I'm going to go next time. There's a lot more to Niagara Falls than I've shown. You know, obviously it's an entire city. It's growing rapidly now. It's about to explode in population over the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years and beyond. But there's a lot more to see than just this area, and I would bet that's why most people will come, like for at least a long weekend, if not an entire week, for a vacation. Oh, there's zip line. we'll likely catch the next round. That zip line takes about 45 seconds to go through, and I've got a video on the channel with the GoPro view. Hopefully I'll get on there again soon. See if we can catch these zip liners. Quite an experience to catch that zip line, of course. Whether it's day or night, they keep it going pretty late actually. This is what I'm talking about with the zipline tower. So that first level is where I filmed the fireworks from a couple of times now. And the next time I'll try to get up a little bit higher. I don't know if that's anything to do with the eclipse that we just witnessed or anything else, but that sun just seems brutal this year. I can't even look at the sky without putting my hand over my eyes and everything else. I gotta try to remember to wear some sunglasses when I'm out here. Cooking with Miss Brown, good to see you, longtime friend. wonder if I can ask Pete or any moderator to just type the command roll call in the chat, and we'll see if those things are working. Stream Elements hasn't been showing up on Tuber Chat again, which was disappointing the other day. It's not the end of the world, but you know, we like when these things work, and that thing's had glitch after glitch. We use those chat bots to remind people of lots of different things. First of all, you know, thanks for the thumbs up, and share this out, share with your friends, and we'll be streaming or dropping videos or whatever we're gonna do. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, but when it doesn't show up, it's easy to forget those things. And thank you, Jonathan Sturgill. Nightbot. Botrix. Streamlabs.
Guys.
Derpy Playground, good to see you here. Pardon me. Anybody see the movie Heat? You know that truck's got the goods right now. It's hard to watch those things go by and not wonder, could I get away with it? But I don't know how much cash they have anymore.
People on an iPhone.
Usually fairly quick anyway, but we'll make today a quick one. We'll head up the hill. More so because I need it than anything else. Restaurants and a trap. Pardon me, thank you. A little bit more down there. The Hershey store's down there, the Hard Rock Cafe, obviously. But up the street is where we usually go. So I'll do that for today, and I'll consider walking around the block or something next time, or another time. Haven't seen my friend Luciano, Gypsy Luciano, for as long as I can remember. He's usually out on the street in the evenings playing music, and he was at it for a long time. I'd like to believe I inspired him to start his own YouTube channel, because I kept coming by and watching him for a few minutes, and then he eventually started one.
Your favorite song today.
You get an idea of all there is to do around here. Yeah, be tomorrow, Jaden. I moved it. Thank you, Scratch and PPA as well. Tomorrow's a rain day, so can't work outside anyway. And since I'm here, it's great internet. Thank you. I don't know if people think I'm taking pictures or or what I'm doing. Usually people aren't hiding as much from the cameras today, but I think they're just being courteous. Where I stopped for a breather here, you can probably hear me huffing and puffing already, is the that's that wax museum of the stars that I was talking about. So if you wanted to see that, I think it's an hour long, pardon me, I think it's an hour long on the channel. And I think it was a stream. But you can have a look through there. They change a couple things every year, so there's always something new to see. But you get an idea of the quality. I don't know how anybody could do all this in one day. The good news is that it's all condensed, right? It's just a couple of streets, really, where most of the stuff is. So if you did plan a vacation, you would know that you could park yourself close to here and do many different things at once without traveling all over town, even though there's much more to do. Fish Head Videos, good to see you here. Hope I haven't missed anybody. So they're making fudge today. They weren't doing this the last time we were here. I don't know where they are in the process, but it looks like a little too early. We've seen them at it before, and I've been in that candy store many times. Between the ice cream and the cotton candy and the popcorn and pizza and everything else, there's all kinds of stuff to not stop eating all day. There's the Niagara Skywheel. Done that too. I think that was a stream also. There's two bowling alleys that I know of in town. This one right here with the arcade and Boston Pizza, but there's another one on the other end of town. And all the copyright music you could wish for is right here. Wonder if they got the volcano doing its thing. I'm gonna bother this guy for a second. Hi, bud. Is the volcano doing its thing? Not yet? Thank you. Yeah. When the weather, or when we get a little closer to the tourist season, that volcano, part of the mini golf here, has a huge, enormous flame that looks like an eruption. And it's really cool to see. I've got it in other videos, but it's not going to be here today. You see what I mean? You can't even walk 1 minute without catching more hot dogs and waffle cones and every other thing. Funnel cake. This is the Mario Kart inspired Niagara Speedway. restaurants, hotels, and things like that go like all the way up this long street, of course. It's some cool go-kart track though. There's a million gift shops here, and a mix of franchises and independent restaurants and bars and things like that. Oh, in Maryland? I've been to Ocean City once. That was where I got the best treatment I've ever had. I used to be a DJ 100 years ago, and I did that for a long time. But I was able to play hundreds of dates in the northeastern United States. But once we went to Ocean City, Maryland, and my agent, I like to call him that, more of a friend, but still, he was with me. They gave us 2 condos for the night as opposed to hotel rooms at what I think was the Marriott. They own the building next door. Anybody from Ocean City would know, but it was a long time ago. But they gave us so much space that we didn't even use it. One of the condos was a 2-bedroom. I said, okay, we'll just use this. Why mess up our other room on them, right? It's all complimentary anyway. But Ocean City was a great party too. It was beautiful. Some of the places I saw only once, like Green Bay, Dayton, Ohio, Harrisburg. I was down there for a month and a half every week, if you could believe that. And New England I would go to once a month for a 3-day stint. Beaver tails across the street there is very well known in Canada. They have it at Wonderland and other touristy type places, where it's a pastry with all kinds of candy and smothered with like Nutella and other kinds of things. Ripley's owns or rents half the area here. Can't help but always look down the street there. You can see the upside down house. That's an attraction. I haven't been in it yet. We're on our way back down towards the falls now. Thanks everybody for keeping me company, by the way. We'll keep the stream going as long as we can, or until I get back down to where I started. So another, let's say, half hour or something. I didn't want to miss the chance for the exercise. Got to keep at it. The other thing too about now doing outdoor work is if I don't keep at it, it makes work much harder, as you can imagine. But I always love the way I feel the next day. Yeah, beaver tails is delicioso. I haven't had them in a while. It's much more fun when you're with somebody, you know what I mean? I'm on my own over here. I could just stop and eat something, but I'll save it for dinner. I'll be starving like Marvin by the time we get around to that. Kristen's already got a plan, as usual. She's a million more times more talented than I am in the kitchen. I can cook to save my life, but not any better than that. She has this magical ability to make every single thing seem like it came out of a 4-star restaurant. So I have that to look forward to today. Really is kind of remarkable, this whole area. I never get tired of it. I grew up in Toronto. I've been through Niagara a million times, but now I've lived here for a while. There. Or I could do some more videos. I never do videos of Niagara. Even just walking down this hill every time, you can imagine what it'd be like seeing this for the very first time. You know, if somebody started their journey to the falls way up at the top of Clifton Hill there, as I imagine most people do, walk down here to the falls in anticipation. So much park area too. Lots of you know, families, friends, things like that will come out here and literally like picnic it up because there's so much space. Yeah, eventually I will, Margaret. Eventually I'll get back to that. If I can get back down here with either Kristen or my son and her daughter, or whatever we're going to do. Yeah, I haven't had that in a while either. We were here when the season gets like so busy, you can imagine 1 million people. Well, not 1 million, but you know what I mean, I'm exaggerating. But when the place is just flooded with tons of people and everybody's eating all of this stuff, sugary, sweet stuff and everything else, and it's falling all over the ground and floor, and people throwing the things in the garbage. Like trying to eat and you can't, you're almost going to bite a bee any second, and you know, that's something else. But it shouldn't be like that for a while. Might have been just a bad year for that, I don't know. So here we are again. There's the Rainbow Bridge that I was talking about, and that's where I've crossed at least 100 times, if not 150. A few times over in Fort Erie at the Peace Bridge. There's another look at the skyline, right? Yeah, there's not as many buskers as anybody would imagine, I'm sure. I don't know if that's like something about the city. They don't allow as many. Toronto, you gotta have licenses now and all this. But it's also like a, I don't know, culturally respected thing, dare I say, in Toronto, where people are able to have their license and then be able to perform in and wanted. They're wanted to be performing in a lot of places. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I love the idea of music in the streets and things like that. I was never quite talented enough to do any of that stuff myself, even though I was in music, let's just say, over my whole life. I think my son is more talented than I am, but he, well, it's a fact. It's a fact that he is. He can grab a piano and just start playing. I had like one lesson and gave it up. I just wanted the drums. And he even considered it for a while. Oh, there goes our zip liners again. Oh, this is my favorite weather. If you were to stand still, you might find yourself the tiniest bit chilly. I like the cold, so not me, but I imagine most people. A few people out here in sweaters and jackets and things like this. But as long as you're moving, this is my favorite. And there's just the lightest breeze too. You can tell when you look at the mist on the Horseshoe Falls over there, because it's going straight up in the air. Barely drifting. When the wind is really bad, you get soaked, right? It feels like it's like drenching rain. I think I prefer autumn to spring now, but when the weather's like this, I love being outside. I don't like extreme heat or extreme cold. Easy to get around in Niagara too. They've of course got transit, slinky bus. Oh, that's a Skyline Tower, yes. Mark Binsett, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Oh, you're coming back on August again. Yeah, some of you may remember a live stream I did in Niagara on the Lake, which is a town about 20 minutes to almost half an hour away from here. And Mark from Windsor brings his family every year for a vacation for a few days, and we met up. Thanks for being back in here. I haven't been out as much lately as I might have expected. I really am doing these streams occasionally now. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the view. You don't need me to tell you, but my God, is it a gorgeous day. Zipliners having a good time. See what I mean about all that park area too here. There's so much. Hopefully the next time we're out here we'll see a lot more flowers. They've started planting. You can see they're trying to look after those. I've already got a plan this week to be in Toronto on the weekend. Kristen hopefully will come, but we've got a meetup between myself and a small handful, it looks like, of other YouTubers. I believe I'm going to meet up with Rambling with the Brooms and Just Jason Keto and more. And then we'll see who else is going to join us. Like I said, hopefully Kristen. I know Scott's bringing somebody. I'm not sure about Jason, but it will be a good time. We'll be in Toronto doing my favorite thing. Finding a restaurant and just sitting there talking for I don't know how long. And thanks everybody again for being here. We'll keep this going until I get, if my battery doesn't die on me. I got it plugged in. Yeah, we might lose our battery. If the stream cuts off, thank you everybody for watching. I used the tiniest cord I could find, and this gimbal, the Osmo 4, plugs into the phone. So you hope that it's charging faster than the battery's draining. But unfortunately, with the thin, tiny cable that I used, it's probably not doing that this time. I'm not sure how far we'll make it, but we'll see. Like I said, I'll get out here again at some point, hopefully in the not too distant future. I try to go out in Toronto once in a while too. I'm going to try to step those up this year. I've got a hard time doing only one thing at a time, but considering I need the exercise badly, getting out to do a stream has that much more benefit for me. Before the pandemic, you can imagine Kristen used to drive here on her way to work every day. Rainbows are just everywhere today. There's the Maid of the Mist again from another angle. Look at how close that thing gets right into the white water over there. Saw this video the other day, and I still see some of the Sean Cannell and Daryl Eves and Sonny Lenarduzzi stuff. She's not doing much YouTube as much as Instagram and all that, but you know, Roberto Blake and Nick Nimmin and all these guys. And one thing I always remember is that when they're talking about YouTube, they're running a business that relies very heavily on the success of the videos in the channel. So they're literally doing everything that they can to push everything as hard as they can because they depend on it, right? When you start getting a staff of people working on this stuff, now you got to pay them. Now you got responsibility, right? Whereas somebody like myself, for the most part, I'm just on my own, like most people in our, you know, groups or the Tuber Chat family, if you want to call it that. So while I don't know the right way to say this, it doesn't matter to me how many views a video gets. I am excited as everybody else when I get 10,000 views on a video or something like that, but I'm just putting a lot of stuff out there, and it doesn't, you know, I'm not dependent on it. So anyway, long story, has to do with the idea that I saw a video the other day about a setting that we can use that seems almost counterintuitive. And it has to do with a setting that says notify my subscribers of this video. And I was looking for it today on the live stream and it wasn't there. So I guess it just comes up after, or it's not available for streams. And I could be mistaken. It's the first time I've looked for it. But on videos, if you are somebody who does variety on YouTube, then somebody who enjoys watching these streams of Niagara Falls may not want to see me do an unboxing of some pop vinyl figure, you know, or something like that. So you can choose to not send a video out with notifications, apparently, if I understand it right, to your subscribers. And what I believe that might do and it's only speculation, is send your video out to more new people. But I could be very mistaken, so I don't want to take anything I'm saying there with anything more than a grain of salt, right? But I noticed it wasn't there for the streams. This is interesting. I didn't realize to point this out before, but somebody in the stream, I forget who it was, mentioned it, but you notice that the elevator on the Skyline Tower is in a pod on the outside of the tower, whereas in the CN Tower, it's inside. There's still glass windows, you can see outside, but it's inside the tower, if that makes sense. Just interesting. I did a shorts video of that once with the elevator going up. I haven't had remarkable success with shorts yet. We got friends who have shorts videos that have gotten into the hundreds of thousands and a couple even over into the millions. I might have been mistaken about the battery. We might be fine. I'm using the Samsung for what I think is the first time, so I'm still getting familiar with the differences in look between this and what I'm used to from the iPhone. But thanks everybody for hanging out. Look at this unbelievable view and that unbelievably bright sun. Ugh. I have the hardest time even looking at it. Yeah, it could be that. It could be that exactly. Jesse Miller Unboxings and More. Yeah, it is a unbelievably nice day for a walk. So now that I'm almost back, I'm glad I did this and glad I decided to go up the hill. It makes the next few days where I'm doing a lot of steps, working. You can imagine so one of the things that I do in the outdoor seasons, which is 3 seasons here in Canada, or at least in Toronto, is paint the lines in parking lots, stuff like that. And when we have apartments or condos that have, let's say, a couple hundred units in the complex and they got numbers in their parking spots, we have stencils that go on the ground, and once you start to carry more than 10 or 15 of those at a time, it gets pretty heavy. So you got to walk back and forth across the parking lot. If there's 200 spots, you got to do it like, what is that, 40 times or something like that. So going out like this is going to make the next few days of work that much easier, because I'll be in the habit of having these sorry, I thought somebody was waving at us. The idea of doing so many steps or walking, you know, a certain something everybody I think can see I don't do nearly enough of, but time's running out. I gotta hurry up, get a little bit better with this stuff. So streaming is a great excuse for that. When I do get over to the American side, I'll intend on doing something over there so we can see what on earth this looks like from their view. course, we could look it up and just watch other people's YouTube videos, but I'm interested to see for myself as well after we've stared at it 100 times. And this is, in my opinion, a pleasant time to be around here too, because with the weather being nice but not an abundant crowd, you're able to walk without bumping into people, and we get a clear view of just about everything. I've become a fan of smaller crowds as I've gotten older. My early adult life, I was surrounded by large crowds much of the time, weekends and things like that. There's fun in that too, of course. I'm lucky Clifton and I share the same views when it comes to that stuff, where we go early to restaurants. We'll be planning our dinners around 5, 6 o'clock instead of 7 or 8. While I was working in nightlife for so many years, literally a couple of decades, I craved the day that I would eventually be a daytime or morning person. And I'm slowly getting there. What a spectacularly bright rainbow. Bill, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat, but thank you everyone for being here. We've been at it just over an hour, so we're almost back to where we started. Maybe this is a good spot to leave things off. So thanks everyone again, and if you're watching the replay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and share it with anybody who you think might like to see it. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you have been to Niagara Falls or if you intend to be, what you think of it. We'll see everybody again soon, either in Toronto or back here in Niagara Falls. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.